In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to stay productive if you're working from home. So basically, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips with you, and then I have a bonus tip. That bonus tip, you want to stay for that tip. So number 1 tip is to have your plan for the day. Honestly, there is nothing more frustrating than just winging your day. I have a journal, I have different journals that I write my, to do for the day, so that as the day goes by and I'm getting these things done, I can easily just tick them out. Another reason why this is important for me to plan my day ahead is that it keeps me sane. I'm one of those people who sometimes suffer from, anxiety and panic attacks with when I have things done and then it doesn't look like I have a concrete plan of how I'm going to get them done. So when I write these things down, I start to go after them one after the other, and then by the end of the day, I'm able to say, oh wow, I was able to do this much. So if you're working from home and you want to really be productive, have a plan. Plan tomorrow, this evening. Plan things that you need to do. And then while planning, one thing that I also recommend is that you put everything that you need to do in order of priority. Sometimes we have a way of bringing what we need to do in 2 years' time to now, to the point that is going to now make it difficult for us to achieve what is important for today. So set out your plan ahead, and then prioritize all the things that you need to get done. That way, it becomes easier to deliver, it becomes easier to do, and then definitely your productivity will 10x. Tip number 2, set up a time schedule. I use Google Calendar because I realized that trying to get things done without a time frame is a problem. So you might realize that you might find that you spend a lot of hours doing some certain things that is really, really senseless, things that don't make sense. So what I do is I apportion a time, I allocate a time for every task that I need to get done daily. And the moment that time that I've allocated for a particular task is elapsed, I just leave it and go and do the next task. Because if I don't do that, eventually, most times, that one that is eating into another task time, I won't still get it done totally, and then other things will have suffered. So it's important for you to look at your day realistically and tell yourself, okay, this task normally, how long does this task take me? It takes me 2 hours. Account for that 2 hours, and then build in miscellaneous time for maybe brainstorming or just, little research, quick research here and there that you may need to do while you're doing this. It's absolutely important. And then when you also have time allocated, you can also tell, when it's time for you to delegate some certain kind of roles. So for example, with me, I realized that when I allocate time for video editing, it takes me a lot of time. And then when I started to think about things I want to delegate, video editing was number 1 on it because I don't enjoy doing it, and then it takes a lot of time. But if you don't allocate time, and if you're not used to knowing how long it takes you to get something done, it's difficult for you to really plan your day and be productive. So for every task you have to do on a daily basis, allocate time for each of them so you know how long it's going to take you. And while you're allocating time, be kind to yourself, build in miscellaneous like I talked about, because there will be little distraction here and there while you're doing all of that, and then or maybe just a quick check on Google, a quick base. If you don't put in those times, you realize that the time that you allocated will not be enough, and then you start to beat yourself. So allocate the time properly and then build in miscellaneous. That really, really helps. So tip number 3 is to be comfortable. Now that you have your plan in place and then you have a time schedule for everything that you need to get done, you have to be comfortable. By being comfortable, I mean, you should have a space where you do your job. What I normally would recommend, what I also have in my house right now, is a space where I've kind of like done into a workspace, so that once I sit down on that seat, bring out my laptop, with my books, I just switch into work mode immediately. This really helps with adjusting your mindset and adjusting your concentration so that you can really focus on the job at hand. I don't think I don't know, maybe some people are comfortable, but I don't think it's ever comfortable for me to sit down on the bed and say I'm working. I may be tired, I may just sleep off, I may just switch into checking my social media, which is not the plan for that time. So Even if you can't afford a proper office in your home, you can't like maybe like do like a fully built office space. You can just find like a table, put in a corner, put your computer, put your lamp, just little things that make you feel like, okay, this is workspace and this is dedicated to work. So that whenever you move into that space, you know that all the play and all the distraction, all the playing around is to be dropped. So that really helps. Be comfortable. Create a space for yourself in the home where you can work comfortably and get amazing results, get amazing work done without feeling sloppy. Because even pain sometimes makes distracts us from getting our job done. And also another thing that finding your own workspace helps you to do is that it helps you stay disciplined. When you sit down there, like I said, you know that this is work time, and then even with people in the house, they know, you kind of like have to communicate with them, let them know that once you're on that chair, you're actually doing work. So it's more like when mommy is seated on that chair, that's when mommy does her job. That way, you can focus on your work, and your children can also even let you breathe once they see that you're there, and definitely your productivity is going to skyrocket. Tip number 4, remove every distraction. Another way that I remove distraction is by working when the kids are not around. So for example, when the kids go to school, the days that I have like intense work, I resume my workspace just immediately after they leave for school. So I get my work done before they come back. That way I'm able to do a lot more because then I start working early. But on days that I really don't mind, hearing them talking around the house and I can still get my work done, I don't resume till about 11, depending on what my morning is like and all of that. So you can also plan it that way that, okay, if your kids are a distraction, try and plan it in such a way that you work when they're not around. So that once they're back, you know that, okay, once these guys are back, this is, mommy mode, this is house mode. But when they're away, you focus your time. If it's just 3 hours that you've got, take away every distraction, phones, social media. I use so many different apps to actually keep me away from distraction. Sometimes I put my phone on flight mode. I use some other different kinds of apps. I may share that in a different video. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to share some of the apps that I use to stay productive and remove distraction. I would definitely be willing to share that with you guys. So I just do my stuff depending on the volume of work I have done that I have to get done. I do some of them when they're not around. I do some of them when they're around. Just moving it around to ensure that I kind of like find a balance that really works for my life and my family. So definitely remove distractions so that you can focus, so that you can do what you need to do. And then when you remove distractions, it takes you less time to get your job done. Sometimes I just go and put my phone in the room or just take it away from me totally, because sometimes when you put it in flight mode, you're still getting little maybe notification and all of those things. So I take it away completely. Anything that is going to make me be talking to anybody, I take it away completely. Tip number 5, do not skip breakfast. As mundane, as tiny as this may sound, it is extremely important. Imagine walking on an empty stomach. How are you going to function? How are you going to be able to think properly? How are you going to be able to deliver good work? I don't take my gym time and my breakfast. I don't play with it at all, because for me, it sets the tone of my day, and it really, sort of like put me in a position where I can actually utilize my brain at optimum capacity. So apart from the fact that this helps me to work at optimum capacity, having a healthy breakfast, kind of like ensures that you're not hungry, you're not craving anything, and then you're focused because you are full. Drum roll! Now, onto my bonus point. This point is one of my major secrets when I really need to get work done. Like guys, I cannot even emphasize enough how this has really helped me. This is more of a mental thing, and then I'm sure some of you will say, oh, because Toyosi is a fashion girl, then she's bringing this. So my bonus tip, which is number 6, is to be dressed for work. Now you wonder, what does Toyosi mean now? Honestly, the feeling that you have when you're properly dressed. Imagine wearing a power dress on a Monday. You're showing up at work. You're giving them, you're just giving them productivity. You're just doing your work. It is the same thing when you're working from home. So what I usually do is when I know that I need to, throw myself into that work mode, I will get ready at about the same time that my kids are getting ready. Because that's how I used to get ready back in Nigeria before I moved here and became a work from home mom. So I will get ready when the boys are getting ready, and then once they're off for school, I'm also going to go straight into my office and start my day. And I'm dressed for it. I'm dressed. It doesn't necessarily have to be typical, going to the office kind of power dress. It could even be a t-shirt and a jeans, but then it's smart. Compare that with wearing pajamas around the house. How are you going to get any work done? Compare that wearing your nightwear carrying your net and all of that around the house, and you have work to do, how are you going to get your job done? That's not going to happen. So I prepare myself in the morning. I get ready alongside the boys. Once they are gone to school, I go into my office and I resume my own work like normal time. So once they come back, it's almost like myself and them are closing about the same time. This is the secret to 10x productivity, like the major secret to 10x productivity. If you are working from home, you have to put yourself in that mode. You have to, remind yourself that this is work and it should be treated as such. And if you will not go to a 9-to-5 job or a job outside wearing your pajamas, wearing your hairnet, wearing your nightwear, then if you're working from home and you're earning money from it, then you should actually treat it like work and dress for it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've been able to take 1 or 2 tips from this video that you're going to try out, and so that you can 10x your productivity. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on socials at TGJonah on Instagram and Twitter. And until next time, bye guys.